What's up guys, Bo here again, and welcome to another Bo Changing vlog. How you all doing? It's great weather nowadays, so hope you're all enjoying it, at least in the UK anyway. In this entry I wanted to talk about something that of course is a fairly recent realization of mine, but more so it is something that addresses not only concerns about myself in terms of my own issues in life, let's just say, because recently, and when I say recently, I mean like for the majority of 2016, I've been kind of delving into, let's just say, less savory sides of myself, like I guess 2016 for me has been kind of one giant like shadow work exercise, let's just say. But aside from my own kind of shadow work, let's just say, and as such to kind of elevate my own, not just consciousness, but like my own understanding of myself as a person, this entry is also aimed at addressing a few worries that some other people have had with regard to some of the content I've put out there in recent history, right? And so I did an update video recently, which basically went into my plans for this vlog channel, and also in general, what I want, what I was planning to do from here on out. The kind of message that I want to spread and the kind of lifestyle that I want to lead, right? And I went into a bit of detail, covering a bit of history about myself, and kind of like my kind of journey, throughout many stages since I came out of university, came out of education. I won't bore you with like the history again. If you're interested in kind of knowing a bit about my history, then I invite you to go and check that video out, my update video for 2016. But anyway, so actually that video was watched by a few of my friends, right? And this entry's sort of addressing their worries after watching that video about me, but it's also, again, expressing my own take on what has been happening in my own life and what I think my message is on a level that kind of hopefully meets the concern of my friends like halfway, right? So I kind of want to begin, as a kind of a personal message from myself to the friends that watched my video, my update video, right? And they were very concerned, and to be honest, they were rightfully concerned. Like they had every right to be concerned about me. But there were a few kind of misunderstandings I want to clear up, right? First and foremost, everything that I've put out in these videos and everything that I express, via these videos is not meant to be taken as, it's not like my intention is never to tear anyone down or to or to indeed, like make someone feel bad about themselves or anything like that, or to be an asshole when it comes to like expressing my opinions and like basically trying to debunk other people's ways of thinking. Like it's never like that, of course I'm only human, I have an ego, sometimes I get a bit passionate, which is, a kind of nice way of saying I get a bit pissed off at like certain things that proliferate in the kind of social mindscape, let's just say. Groupthink out there, some things just come along and they piss me off, and like I make vlog videos about them, that's the whole idea. But like And it goes deeper than that, you know, like everything that I've been kind of engaging myself in the past, I would say 4 to 5 years, has been kind of my own journey to really learn myself and to discover myself. You know, whereas at one point, like I really did not know myself, right? And this is kind of what this video is going to go into, you know. And if you have a similar experience as my own, then I hope that perhaps you can find some relation in this video, right? So, I have a problem, right? I'm just going to go out there and say this, right? I have a problem. I've always had a problem. And that problem is that I've always worn a mask in front of people, right? I've always worn a mask in front of people, and I don't quite know at what point exactly I started to do this, right? You know, because I don't think anyone, you know, is born and goes through, like, you know, their childhood, like wearing a mask. You know, it's something that, you know, is conditioned into you, you know, when you interact with the world and you grow up, you know, and, you know, society's values are kind of present there, and, like, you know, they form the purpose of shaping your values to kind of coincide with the collective values of society, right? So that no one commits it, like, you know, like, so that no one goes AWOL, let's just say, so the society can continue to, you know, run smoothly and everyone's civil, you know, all of that stuff, right? But at some point along the line, I started to wear a mask in front of people, right? And this isn't, I didn't do this to any specific people, you know. I did this to everyone, right? This is my problem, you know. It's a problem I've always had, is my inability to present myself authentically in front of other people, right? And I could go into the various reasons why this is, you know. I've done a lot of, you know, self-analysis over the years, and I've come up with a lot of kind of rationalizations and conclusions as to, like, why I do the kind of thing I do, you know. You know, it goes into a lot of, you know, psychological considerations, let's just say, emotional considerations, but the gist of it is that I have a fear of showing my true self to other people, right? When I'm by myself, you know, an element of this is present in my videos, right? Because when I'm doing these videos, I'm just by myself, and therefore I can express myself freely in front of the camera without having to filter myself. So the people who watch, you know, the friends who watch my videos, they might feel a bit of a difference between how they have perceived me in the past and the way that I present myself in these videos. And the reason is because in these videos, you know, I've given myself an outlet to be completely candid about what I think and what I feel, right, without having to filter myself. But all throughout my life, even towards, like, the friends that were closest to me, even to, like, my family, you know, I've always worn a mask, right? And basically, you know, people, my friends who know me, you know, you guys who know me from, you know, school or university, like, you know, I probably seemed like the, you know, the really diplomatic, really kind, really, like, warm-hearted, you know, quiet and reserved, but, like, you know, like, you probably know me as a very nice guy, right? Someone who, like, kind of, like, you feel comfortable around, and you could talk to, you feel like you could talk to me about anything, right? And I feel that there's a very positive thing about this, you know, that there's a side of this, you know, this personality that I have that I have come to acknowledge as being positive, you know. I'm someone who is something of a mediator amongst people, you know. Even now, like, you know, I can feel the significance my presence has, you know, in groups of people, you know. I'm someone who, like, makes everyone feel comfortable. I'm someone who dissolves tension, you know, when conflicts arise and things like that. You know, I'm just someone who, like, if I'm around, you know, I try my best to make, you know, I do this naturally, you know, I just figure out energetically where everyone else is at, and I try to, like, create harmony amongst the group, right? And I feel that, to use my, my kind of university friends, you guys, our group of friends that we had, I felt that I was the one who basically, in a way, brought everyone together. I didn't really ever think of myself as a leader or anything like that, but I felt as though, like, I was the one who kind of, like, was there and made everyone else feel comfortable, as a group. That was my role, right? That's my personality, that's the kind of personality that I've grown up with, right? And I dare say that it's the kind of personality that a lot of sensitive, nice, artistic, creative people have, the kind of mild-mannered, gentle soul, which I am. If you're someone like that, then you probably can relate to this, right? And of course, like I've said, there is a positive side to my personality, but at the same time, there is something about my kind of personality that actually is very destructive, right? And basically, the recent thing that happened between, with my uni friends watching my latest videos, that was a manifestation of the destructive side of my personality, of my problem, right? In that I wear a mask and I present the best version of myself. I try my best not to show ugly sides of myself. I used to be really afraid of being angry in front of people, or to express my opinion in front of other people if that opinion was negative. I always used to, like, cringe at having to express, because, like, I didn't want to hurt people's feelings, or at least that's the rationalization I had, right? I didn't want to say anything, like, for example, if friends would show me something or would express their opinion, like, I would never be like, you're wrong, or like, I hate that shit. I would never say that, because I never wanted to hurt other people's feelings or to devalue their opinion, right? But I have, after thinking about it and doing so much self-analysis, I realized that, like, a major component of that spawns from a fear of having other people dislike me, and having the consequence of people seeing a disagreeable side to me. Maybe they'll treat me not as well, if I was to talk to, my uni friends in such a way, like, and to, like, be, like, disagreeable in any way in my estimation, I was scared that something bad would happen, right? I was scared that something bad would happen, and that's why I was always so nice, right? I was always so nice because I was afraid of people not liking me or people thinking ill of me, It's really scary to me, I see other people who, like, are really outspoken, or people on the internet who get, like, ripped to shreds by people, because they express their opinions. And, like, obviously I'm now stepping into that, but, like, I've always had a fear of like saying something or doing something, or, like, disappointing other people, and then they would then, like, treat me badly, or, like, they would stop being friendly with me, And I'll give one example, for any of my friends who are watching this, I won't name the name, but, like, I had a childhood friend, which I don't really speak to anymore. But, like, we were really close, at least on the surface anyway. And he was a very dominant kind of a person, right? He was the kind of person who has that kind of leadership spark in him. He grew up, like, kind of always being the leader. He would always kind of bring people together, right? And that was the case when we went to uni. I lived in the same flat with him during 1 year, my second year of my uni, and like he has this confidence about him that brings people together, right? You know, he's really outspoken, he's really confident, right? And I kind of looked up to him, right? You know, I saw him as a friend, but like at the same time, there was a side of me that always felt dominated by him. There was always a side of me that felt as if, you know, I was, like, I wasn't worthy of him, you know, like, because he was so dominant. Like, I always felt like I was so scared of him hating me. I was so scared of what he would say to me. I was so scared of making him angry and stuff, you know, because he had really strong opinions, and like he was very black and white about who he liked and who he didn't, right? And like I was always a bit less clear on that, you know, because of my personality, you know, like I didn't want to make enemies. I was scared of making enemies. So as when he would talk about other people, like, you know, other friends that were in our kind of group of friends, like in a negative light, like I would always feel really uncomfortable, you know. And like the burden that I felt, you know, whenever like he would say something about someone, and like I wouldn't know whether or not to agree with him, you know. Obviously, like, you know, the bottom line is like I didn't feel any confidence to like say anything against what he would say, you know. And that's the general thing of me, you know, is like, you know, to all of the people that I've met in the past, you know, I was always afraid to get on your bad side and like disagree with you, right? But the thing is that like I am my own person. I do have my own opinions, right? But I was just always crippled by my fear of expressing that, like, okay, you know, it's 17 minutes into this video, and like I haven't really hit what I was actually wanting to say, which is that I'm fake, basically. You know, I'm fake. That's my problem, is I'm fake, right? I'm fake in a way that makes people feel good about themselves. I'm fake in a way that like I can bring anyone up and like make them think that I agree with them. And like I explained, all of that is a defense mechanism because I'm scared. But the bottom line is I'm fake. And I've lied to every single friend who has ever been in my life. Not in a way that's like, you know, not in like a really explicit way, but like you don't really know the real me, you know. And like this isn't meant to be like, you know, like really like, it's not meant to be really like depressing, you know. It's more that like I just want to come clean to you, you know, and hopefully anyone else external to this can like watch this and also relate to this. Is like, we wear masks, you know, people like me, you know, we wear masks, we're fake because it's our defense mechanism in life, you know. Some people act aggressive and become outspoken as their defense mechanism to protect themselves against fears and you know, the harshness of the world. But like for people like me, our defense mechanism is to put on a mask and be fake, right? And I only just realized this recently. It's only this year that I've realized this, in the past few months even, that I'm fake, and that is something that is detrimental to both myself, and to you know, other people, but also, you know, it really hampers. It really gets in the way of an authentic relationship, right? But the worst thing about it is that like, you know, it might seem as though like, you know, I'm not doing that much in terms of being fake but making people feel good, but it's actually really bad, you know, primarily for myself, you know, because like I end up being this person who can't express himself, and like even when I'm doing something that someone else has brought me into, and like I'm saying to them, yeah, let's do it, but like deep down in my heart, I really don't want to do it, or I don't agree with what someone else has said, but like I'm just putting on a smile because I'm being fake, and it's my defense mechanism, right? Because I'm scared of just being upfront and being like, you know what, I don't want to do that, or like, I don't agree with you, or even, I don't think we should be that close of friends anymore, right? But yeah, anyway, so my realization has been that, for me personally anyway, I want to become more authentic. I want to be more of myself and to express my true opinions, even if those opinions aren't what other people want to hear. And that's the greatest fear that I have. That's why actually I haven't spoken directly with my uni friends. Like, instead I'm doing this indirect video. It's kind of a bit of a bitch move, but at the same time, I just want those uni friends to understand, and also anyone else watching this to understand that I realized I was fake. I've been fake all my life. I still am fake because I'm still scared, and I'm trying to fix that. I'm trying to fix that. And in fixing that, I have to face my own fears about opening up about myself, about what I truly desire in life, and what I truly resonate with, and what my true opinions are. But also, it will mean that all of the people who have been in my life, my uni friends, my family even, I have to reveal to them the truth. And it's not going to be pleasant for them. Like, the side of me knows that it's not going to be pleasant for them, because like, I'm so good at making people think like that I'm the nicest person ever, that I agree with everything that they say, that everything that they say to me is fine. But the truth is, I'm not like that at all, So, and like, that will mean that like, it will be a wake-up shock, a system shock to some of the friends who I've known, And I apologize for that. It's my fault. Like, I acknowledge like that it was my responsibility for being fake. I had no choice. Like, that's just how I grew up. But at the same time, I owe you an apology, because even though like it's really insidious what I did actually, because it's like, okay, well, you made yourself into such a good friend, and now you're saying that you're not such a good friend. What the fuck is wrong with you? I completely understand if you feel that way about me. It's completely natural. And I'll just have to accept that some people will be angry at me. Some of the friends who watch this will be angry at me, or will be confused about me, But like, having said that, like, I just want to reassure you that nothing, like, I'm just trying to be honest here. Like, I don't personally feel that there's any kind of like really heavy or grave issue here. It's just that I have lied to you. I have been fake. Not completely, like, again, take everything I say with a pinch of salt. But at the same time, I just want to express that, like, this is the way that I want to move forwards, right? And I'm going to continue to do this, right? And, right now my focus is to build a life in alignment with what I love, right? That's not to say that I'm against throwing out everyone who has been in my life away, But I just want you to understand. And like, of course, there is still a side of this where I'm being selfish, I'm being indirect, I'm being a bitch, because I'm not being upfront about it. I'm not reaching those uni friends directly. But at the same time, I want you to understand that the way that I'm moving forwards, there'll be sides to me that you won't like, just to put it simply. And again, the overarching thing is, it's not a grave thing. It's not the end of the world. It just means that there were some incompatibilities that I hid from you. You know, that's completely my fault. And, you know, and I feel that I have moved on a bit, you know, like, I'm not against meeting up with anyone that I once knew in my life, you know, but like at the same time I feel that the way that I'm moving forwards, like, I need to, you know, I need to let, you know, the people in my life know that, like, this is the way I'm moving forwards, right? I don't really expect you to follow me, you know. You know, and if anything, I think maybe you know, you guys shouldn't just move on. You know, not like, again, I'm not against like us ever, like, never. I'm not going to say like we're never going to be friends again. Like, we'll never meet up again. No, it's just that, like, I have my own focuses right now, and like I you know, there was one friend who reached out to me in particular. You know, he sent me, like, you know, quite a long WhatsApp message, and like, I really appreciate what he said in there. You know, it showed that he genuinely he was concerned about me, or at least, you know, that was what it sounded like. You know, but it's time, and you know, I appreciate, you know, your concern. You know, I want you guys to understand that, you know, thank you for reaching out to me. You know, I did feel a certain degree of love from your messages, right? But having said that, you know, I think it's time for all of us to move on. You know, let it be that when we meet one day, like, we have fulfilled what we want to fulfill in life, and then we can come from a place of authenticity. You know, I can be like, okay, so this is what I was all along. You know, to be fair, which isn't completely all different from what you guys know about me. You know, the people, my friends, but it's just like the depth of my love for these things is perhaps was underplayed by me. You know, it was underplayed by me a lot. You know, I love spirituality. I love, you know, art. I love music. I love gaming. I love life in a way that's very, I guess you could say, woo woo, right? And some people, you know, some people might be turned off by that. You know, and also, I don't have time for distraction. You know, like, I just want to focus on what I want to do, succeed in it, and then once that has happened, then maybe, you know, I'll connect with old friends or whatever. But yeah, it's been a bit of a weird entry. You know, I didn't want this entry to be so much of a confession, but like, really, I actually wanted to talk about the topic of wearing masks in public, right, and the damage that it does to yourself, mostly. You know, the people who are, like, you know, really mild mannered and nice. You know, you might think that you're being nice, you know, in a conscious way, but, you know, when you actually delve into the shadow of it, you know, it's actually very destructive. You know, unless, if, you know, if you can't be assertive about what you really think, it's destructive, right? You know, like, that realization came with so much pain for me. You don't understand, you know, because again, like, I've been someone who's so afraid of expressing himself fully, in case other people reject me and hate me. And it was really difficult for me to step back and be like, you know what, maybe what I'm doing is a bad thing. Like, how difficult is that? It's like, you think you think you're being nice, and you think you're being nice, and that's a good thing, but like, then you stumble upon, and you're scared of being assertive, but then you stumble upon the realization that, like, but if you're just nice and you're never assertive, you're actually hurting other people, you're hurting yourself. That was a really, really painful lesson for me. Like, you know, you have to understand. And I'm sure it is for all of those people out there who are, like, you know, like myself, you know, learning how to be assertive. You know, like, I feel that the world sometimes doesn't really understand, you know, the kind of journey that we more sensitive people have to go through. But anyway, you know, that was my message, you know, a bit of a confession, you know. Yeah, so it's a bit of a problem, but like, my kind of suggestion for people like myself is to, well, what do I even say? You know, it's like it's a really, really messy thing. It's a really, really messy journey. You know, the journey to let go of something so scary. Let me just put this into perspective, you know, again, because I really want to put this in perspective. Like, being assertive and expressing my opinion has been the scariest thing in my life. Probably more than, like, some other things, you know. But in my everyday life, it has been the scariest, single most scariest thing that I've had to deal with in life. You know, some people are afraid of intimacy. I don't know. I guess that's me. I guess ultimately that's me. But like, yeah, I'm like, it's been like the single most scariest thing in my life. And to face that has been like, it hasn't been easy. But you do what you can. And like, as long as you have the awareness to keep trying to understand yourself. You know, I love when people try to understand things. You know, and of course, like, that kind of makes me a hypocrite, because obviously I'm not really giving any room for my friends' perspectives. You know, but at the same time, like, you know, hey, sometimes you just have to like move forwards, you know, and like, you know, there'll be tears, you know, there'll be angry words, there'll be resentment. But who knows, man? But like, either way, that's my stance on this, right? I'm moving forwards in the way that I'm moving forwards. And I'm not going to stop until I succeed. And then at that point, you know, maybe I'll reconnect with old friends. But like, at that point, I'll be a different person, I'm sure, on the outside. Because I'm already a very different person on the inside. You've got to understand that. You know, a lot of me is still the same as when I was younger, but like, a lot of me has changed so much, you know. But anyway, I'm not going to drag this entry on any longer. I wish all my friends the best of luck in life, you know. I wish they will find happiness. I wish they'll find it in their hearts to forgive me. But even, I don't really understand that. And even if they don't, I don't even expect that. And like, if they choose not to, and we just go our separate ways, that's fine also. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up. I'm just trying to think of more things to say, because I said a lot of things, but I don't want the wrong message to be given out. You guys are, you know, my uni friends, you guys are really nice people. Like, but I think that everyone is really nice. You know, I think that everyone has a spark to them. And, you know, we had a lot of fun in uni. You know, and all of my other friends. It's not just my uni friends, really. You know, there have been other friends I've pushed out of my life. But yeah, you know, sometimes you just kind of gotta say goodbye, you know. But again, it's not really goodbye, you know. I'm being kind of indecisive here, but like, or vague rather. Yeah. But either way, like, my decision is to move forwards, alone mostly. And then once I've succeeded in achieving what I want to achieve, which is, you know, I might as well make it clear actually, because that makes it fair. You know, I want to build. I mentioned in my update that I was doing fiction writing. I'm still carrying that on. You know, I'm still going to chip away at that. I'm going to make that profitable, hopefully. You know, and I'm going to keep going until I make it. But at the same time, I also want to carry on my music. I also want to carry on these vlog entries about my ideas and stuff like that. I also stream games, you know, and I'm going to keep doing that. And I'm going to focus on the things I love, and I'm going to keep doing them, right? And I'm going to succeed. And then once I'm satisfied, then I'll make more room for like things like people in my life, friendships, But just at the moment, I'm in forge mode. You know, I really, 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 really believe in a life that is that is aligned with your passion. It's something that I really, really believe with, like from the bottom of my soul and my heart. You know, I'm generally a very wishy-washy person, I feel. Although in recent years I've improved. You know, I've built more of a backbone to me. But like, and you know, I've kind of dug out my own opinions and my own thoughts and ways of thinking. But if there's one thing that I really believe in, at least in physical life, is to build a life that's in alignment with your heart. I really, really believe that. I believe, like, there's nothing more that I believe, honestly. So, you know, hopefully that gives you a bit of perspective about my convictions. So I'm definitely gonna make it happen. So cool. I'm not gonna bore you anymore. I wish everyone the best of luck. Keep moving forwards. Keep moving towards your happiness. You know, someone like me might not be in your life. You know, and like I know that I offered something to the group and everything, but hey, use this as an opportunity to clarify your own desires and to grow in your own way. So cool. I hope that was eye-opening. I guess I'm open to communicating, but like, you know, if you want to leave me a comment, but like, you know, I think in terms of, you know, WhatsApp or phone, like, I'm not really going to respond on there. You know, I'm afraid. But yeah. Anyway, hope you're having a good day, and I will catch you guys in the next entry. Peace out.